This week's podcast is brought to you by FreshBooks. I've been using FreshBooks for years. We send hundreds of invoices a year using FreshBooks. It is incredibly easy to use. Whether you're a large business, a mid-sized business, or a freelancer, FreshBooks allows you to send out custom invoices and get paid faster. I have a secret. We were using a very popular accounting system that a lot of people use that's a giant pain in the neck to use, and I couldn't do it any longer, so I searched out all over the internet to find a place where I could do my bookkeeping online, and I came up with FreshBooks, and I'm pretty excited about them. They are not expensive at all. They are perfect for freelancers. They are perfect for the self-employed, and they're perfect for my business too. And for the next 30 days, you can have unrestricted free trial to FreshBooks by going to freshbooks.com/MDP and enter $1 million plan. You guys know I don't endorse a lot of products. I only like to endorse things that I use, and I've used them for years. So check it out, freshbooks.com/MDP, and enter $1 million plan and see why I'm always so happy.
A podcast? Did your radio show get canceled?
Fire. Low down and filthy, but the discipline is on point. Schooled myself, made my own dojo. A cold flow with the whole dose of soul. Maintain composure, even in theory. An anomaly, properties undiscernible to mere peasants.
This week on The $1 Million Plan, we not only have one of the most unique fake names ever selected on this show, but we're also trying to deal with questions revolving around a 403B, which is a type of a retirement plan. And so we welcome to the show to cover all these sorts of things. Brielle, welcome to The $1 Million Plan.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. I know you've got a unique real first name, and you chose Brielle. Is Brielle, is that a real name? It's kind of pretty, right?
I believe it is, yes. I know a few people that have little girls with Brielle.
Oh, well, it's lovely. What are we doing today? We got a 403B question. We got some other things. You got a lot going on. You've sent us quite the comprehensive email. Like, what's going on?
Well, first of all, I just want to tell you that I'm $50 in the hole because I needed to get a babysitter to take care of my children so I could listen to you with full attention.
Oh, my gosh. Now I feel so much pressure. I'm going to need a drink. Nicole, we may have to do drinks on the show today. So I appreciate that. Although I'll say we recorded another podcast earlier. The lady had her 4-year-old in the background, and I got to hang out with the kid for a little while. So it's okay either way.
I see. Okay, great.
Okay, so what is going on? How many? Like, you're a teacher, right?
Well, I'm technically a school librarian, so that would be a media specialist. But yes, I'm also a teacher as well.
So my wife has like this secret passion for library science. Like, she wants to go back and do that now that our kids are of school age. Like, that's a thing.
That's wonderful. That's great.
I know, it is great. A media specialist. I remember mine was named Mrs. Brasher. Her name was Mrs. Brasher. She was a media specialist. So you do elementary school? Do you do that at like a high school? What do you do that where do you do?
Elementary school.
Okay. The kids don't smell as bad in elementary school.
No, they're quite pleasant.
That's good.
It's actually a wonderful job.
And you make some pretty good money. What part of the country are you in?
I'm in the East Coast.
Okay.
So,
you make $101,000 a year as a media specialist.
well, starting in September. So, yes, that will be what it is. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to feel like it's that much, but that's what they tell me I'll be getting.
And then, what is your? How many people are in your household?
There are just 4 of us, 2 children and my husband and I.
And do your husband and you share finances?
I would say that's a mixed answer. He will give me certain amount of monies every week towards our expenses, but I'm the one that basically takes care of paying most of the bills. Would
you view his and I'm going to have to ask a few weird questions around this, but they matter. So, who makes more money, you or him?
I do.
Okay, significantly more.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
That's where I knew we were going there. So.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm just because if you deal with all this and he gives you money weekly, that I've seen it before. I know exactly where we're at, so that's fine.
Yep. You got it.
How old are the kids?
Oh my gosh, they're like 5 minutes old. I have a 2, or it feels like that.
Yeah.
I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Okay. So lots of. You do the TV in your house, or TV is not a babysitter? Like, how do you do this? Like, do the kids watch the TV?
Well, they're more into like holding tablets. They like to choose their shows.
Right.
But right now one of our tablets isn't working, so it's a little painful.
Jeez, that's
Hence
brutal.
why I needed to get them out of here today.
Yeah.
There was no.
So
No
you've got quite a bit of money, 51,000 or so in your 403B, which is your retirement plan that you have through school. Now, you mentioned to us that 403Bs aren't good. I mean, you hear this here and there, and I'm just curious as to your thoughts on that.
Well, I was literally 22 when I opened it, and I thought I was doing the right thing. And then after I had opened it, I had read so many things about annuities not being so great, and sometimes the options in a 403B aren't so good. I mean, I just don't think for my age it's really where it should be. I'm not saying I contribute so much, but I would think it would be a little more than what it is right now, and that's where I think I'm making a big mistake. Like maybe I should get it out of there, or lower the deduction, or freeze it, or I don't even know.
That's a great question. So let's talk about that. I would say this, that yes, 403Bs can be pretty expensive to own, right? The fees every year can be pretty brutal. And sometimes the investments themselves aren't good, but that's really tough to say. It just really depends on what's within the 403B. But here's the bigger issue. If you start to get frustrated by that, therefore you stop throwing money at it, that's where we have a problem, because the most important part of preparing for your future is getting money in there. And so when we have apprehension around that, and then we don't fund it the way we need to fund it, then something really weird happens. You take home more money, you become more dependent on that more money, and then retirement gets even harder because now you've got this bigger lifestyle. So that's what we have to prevent from happening. Do you feel like that's happened so far, or do we just feel like we need to prevent that?
I feel like that could happen the way you're saying, but it has not happened because I have not stopped contributing. I'm kind of embarrassed to say that that's all I have in it.
Yeah, and so you put $100 into a Roth IRA as well. Is the school corporation putting any money into your 403B on top of what you were putting in?
No.
Yeah, I got to go ahead and say it, just flat out. I mean, I would alter your contributions from that $200 going into the 403B and just crank your Roth to $300 a month.
I see. And there's one thing I should mention. It's tax deferred, so I guess I don't pay taxes on that $200 I put in.
Yeah, but
does that make a difference? No.
Well, I mean, based on your age, it's and I'm not a tax accountant, but based on your age, a Roth product is appropriate for you, and it doesn't sound like your household income is going to be bumping up against any. Do you guys file jointly or not?
Not right this minute, no. But
Okay.
we're going to be trying to go back to that. Yes.
Yeah, you're not bumping up against any tax brackets. So of $200, you're only deducting $2,400 a year off of your pay.
Yeah.
So it's not that significant. So I would say. But then there's another issue, right? Then you've got $50-some thousand exposed to an account which arguably has higher fees than you need. That $51,000 is all part of the school corporation you're currently involved with, right?
Yes, it is.
So sometimes that can be a challenge because then, depending on the rules, you can't move that to somewhere else. Do you happen to know if you're able to roll that into something else while you're working there? Most places you cannot.
Every once in a while, there'll be a salesman in the school saying that I can transfer it over. I just have to get their permit. I have to get on the phone with them and have permission and then fill out like a mountain of paperwork. So I think that means I could move it, but I've never really tried it because I feel like it's just another annuity salesman. Why would I move it to the same exact thing? So
probably. I mean, if we're being honest, yeah, probably. The issue is, I mean, it could be performance. I mean, we could be dealing with like the investments aren't that good, but what we're likely dealing with is the investments are dragged down by the fees. So I wouldn't, I would just know what the fees are. We like to see people below 1% expense ratio, 1%. You could be as high as 2.5% to 3%. It sounds like if you're in a 403B. most people, I mean, like ours here in our workplace, we're below 0.5%. 1% or below is okay. But if you're above 1%, that's not good. I mean, your money's just getting eaten alive.
Right.
Yeah, that's a tough one. But you just got this big pay increase. How are you going to take advantage in a positive way of that $9,000 pay increase?
Well, to be honest, I'm not sure because I have the 2 kids that need to go to daycare, and now I can finally afford to send both of them, not just one.
Sure.
So that's going to drag...
Where was the other one going? Were you just like putting in a drawer, or what were you doing?
She was just going to a babysitter, and now I can really send her to real daycare. So that's going to drag about almost $2,000 a month. So that's an expense right there.
Yeah.
I just don't even know if I'm going to see a difference. I'm not sure if I will.
So, okay. Now, your husband's situation, it sounds like, and I'm going to put words in your mouth because is it sort of a get back on your feet situation with him?
It kind of is. I mean, he definitely contributes every single week. It's just that he has an IRS debt that has to be paid off. So
those happened. Yeah.
He sold the house, and I thought maybe at the closing they would take the taxes, but they don't. They just give you a big fat check. So he paid off his debts, and then IRS time, they're like, you kind of owe some money on that sale of the house. And neither one of us had it at that time. So I just want to maybe pay it off once and for all because I'm tired of always having to, come tax time, I have to file separately because it really had nothing to do with me. But then I can't take advantage of paying for the kids' schooling because of that. There's all these loopholes. I mean, with taxes, it's tricky.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I mean, and plus, I just looked at your mortgage payment. You're paying over $3,000 a month for your mortgage. What's the value of your home?
I have it here. I have the outstanding house, what it's worth, and I still have to pay $357,000.
Okay, $357,000. You pay $3,000 a month. You have a 30-year mortgage. You have 22 years left. Mm-hmm. So your take-home pay, though, and then your husband's take-home pay, that's a high percentage of your take-home pay going toward your mortgage payment, right?
Yeah.
You feel overhoused? Like what's the
it was fine when it was just the 2 of us. It really wasn't that big of a deal. And then, you add on 2 kids, and it gets tougher. I guess that's really what it is. You can't really send them back.
So again, when I say there's a lot going on, I feel like sometimes I say that a lot. What's your stress level and comfort level with it right now? Because I'm looking at this, I'm a little bit stressed. I'm a little bit stressed for you. How stressed are you? Wait. We'll complete that thought right after these words. So you're racing against the clock to wrap up 3 projects, prepping for a meeting later in the afternoon, all while trying to tackle a mountain of paperwork. Welcome to my life, and welcome to the life of business owners and freelancers all across this globe. Challenging? Yep. But our friends at FreshBooks believe the rewards are so worth it. The working world has changed. With the growth of the internet, there's never been more opportunities for the self-employed. To meet this need, FreshBooks is excited to announce the launch of an all-new version of their cloud accounting software. And believe me when I tell you, it's beautiful. It's been redesigned from the ground up and custom built for exactly the way you work. And I work. And anyone works. Get ready for the simplest way to be more productive, organized, and most importantly, get paid quickly. The all-new FreshBooks is not only ridiculously easy to use, it's also packed full of powerful features. Create and send professional-looking invoices in less than 30 seconds. For those doing the math, it's a half a minute. Set up online payments with just a couple of clicks and get paid up to 4 days earlier. And see when your client has seen your invoice and put an end to the guessing game. FreshBooks is offering a 30-day unrestricted free trial to my listeners. That's you. To claim it, just go to freshbooks.com/MDP and enter $1 million plan in the How Did You Hear About Us section. That's freshbooks.com/MDP P and enter $1 million plan. Go get the free stuff right now.
I think I stress out about money probably 5 to 6, 7 times a day.
Oh.
So that's why
So
when
that's a
I
10,
found
yeah.
you like 2 months ago, I'm like, I have to talk to you because
Okay.
this is, I'm stressed all the time. And I was hoping you wouldn't feel stressed, but that's making me feel worse that you're looking at it feeling stressed.
Well, I mean, look, let's be honest. If I looked at if you feel, one of us has got to be right or one of us has got to be wrong. Like, you're right. You should feel stressed. I'm telling you, you're right.
Yeah.
Isn't that better than you like butchering a situation? And it, like, I get it. Like, I feel you. So let's fix that.
Okay.
Let's look at your $1 million day if we can for a second, because we got to work backwards at some point. Based on the numbers you provided for us, you'll be a millionaire on March 8th of 2044 if nothing else changes. March 8th of 2044. Not
That's 2 years longer than I hoped. I had like a goal, and 2 years later than I would have, not that it's great in 2044,
Yeah.
but I was hoping you'd at least say 2042.
Well, look, I mean, we can change. That's the whole point of the show. Is like, if we change your habits, it can go up. Like, look, you can't look because you're on a phone call, but I'm pulling up right now. If we change your habits by... I'm just messing around with my computer. No, it doesn't. Yeah, look, if you're putting $150 more a month away, along the way,
Okay.
it goes to 2042. That's the whole point. Like, when you make little changes over a long period of time, it's a huge impact. I will say this, though. At age 67, we have you slated to have $948,000, which means you're going to be a millionaire after you are 67, right?
Yeah.
And then your take-home pay after inflation and everything is $1,100 a month. This is to say to you, the retirement is not taken care of quite. I want to get to a point where we can sort of, the old Ron Popeil Showtime rotisserie, we want to set it and forget it. I want you to be able to ignore retirement. Unfortunately, not to pile on, but we also have not earned the right to ignore retirement yet.
No.
But there's a big but. There's a big but. You have a pension, right?
Yeah, apparently, it might still be there. Yes.
What state are you in?
I am in New Jersey.
Okay. Teachers Pension, New Jersey. Googling it. It's one of the first ones. That can't be good.
No, of course not.
How healthy is it?
Meaning, what do I have in it?
No. How healthy is the pension itself? Do you ever hear like people going, "Oh, it's
Yeah,
gonna
we
die"?
get articles all the time that it's in trouble, but I had maybe like a mini escape plan for that.
Yeah.
I was thinking that if it was really, really getting bad, like down to the point where it was going to go away, like maybe at that point, because I've been teaching for a while, maybe I can just stop working and then start substituting and maybe take my pension and run or take it early. Maybe I'll still get a chance to get my paws on what's mine. I mean, I don't even know.
Have you ever been at the beach and seen like Chris Christie at the beach and thought you could talk to him about it? Sorry, I couldn't not say that. I couldn't not say that. Sorry. So you have a pension. I know your husband's situation's different. And does he have any retirement benefits through what he does?
He does, but again, he's not. He just started contributing again. He will have a pension as well, but it's like a long time coming, like far away, like
Sure.
mine, and it's not even half of what I have. So I'm really on my own here as far as retirement, I think.
Okay,
He's
so
got his own issues.
how much do you pay in daycare once both kids are in daycare?
I just got the bill yesterday.
Oh, that's
so I can
fun.
Tell you
That's
for
stressful.
Sure.
Isn't that not stressful when you get a bill like that? Even when you know it's coming, it sucks.
Yes. So it's going to be about $1,800 a month.
Okay. So we got some good things happening here. We really do. I mean, that's a good thing to me because it is. So you're 4 and 2, or am I making up the ages? They're 4 and 2, right?
Yes.
So in 4 years, you're not going to have $1,800 a month in daycare costs.
No way.
So let's think about this. If you've listened to my show before, you've heard me say this. The goal here, especially in your situation, and hell, in my situation too, the goal is not to have a lot of money at retirement. The goal is to not need a lot of money. And look at your situation. $3,000 a month goes away in 22 years when your mortgage is paid off. $1,800 a month goes away in 4 years. Hell, between the two, it's like $5,000 a month you won't need.
Yes.
Like, that's good news.
Okay.
You just have to survive until then. Right?
That I can do. I'm a survivor.
You sound like a survivor. You really do. You seem like you got some grit. Do you?
Yes. Yes.
You seem like a fighter.
I'm not giving up, no matter what.
There's
this
nothing
is probably
to give
like
up,
the worst situation you ever saw, and I'm still not giving up.
First of all, no, it's not. Second of all, there's something important you need to understand here. Your situation is not hopeless. And sometimes I look at these and I have to say to the person, hey, I'm going to be honest. Do the best you can, but this is hopeless. Yours is not even close to hopeless. Like, this is fine. Here's where you're at. You have a 2 and a 4-year-old, which is really hard ages based on daycare. So you're running on a treadmill. You are running in place, and your life doesn't feel like it's getting better, and your goal is just to make sure it doesn't get worse until they get out of daycare.
Okay.
Like, just accept the fact that it's a crappy period. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
You know, and plus you had this perfect storm. You're dealing with that. You got that IRS debt, your husband's situation. Like, there's just a lot going on. It's just stressful.
It is.
Yeah, look, it's not ideal, but it's gonna get. And you're in a high cost of living area. That's incredibly obvious.
Yes, that is probably the hardest part.
How many car payments? Didn't you have a car question too?
Oh my God.
Oh, jeez, we haven't even gotten there.
Well, apparently, I've learned this the hard way. Like, basically, everybody wants you to lease, and it's so enticing to lease. And now that I have a lease that's up, I even went out last night with my friend looking at cars in car dealerships, and basically people were telling me, like, I need $600 or $700 a month if I want to finance something, like laughing me out the door. Like, it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be. I think my question is, maybe I should try to talk to this is my first lease, and my last lease, I hope, like, talk to them about maybe getting, like, saying, okay, this much, can you take this much, and I'll get a loan, or...
Yeah,
this is like throwing money out the door.
Okay, so let me back up to the very beginning of transportation.
Okay.
Not to like caveman times, like Fred Flintstone car, beginning of transportation, but like just to the beginning of your need for... Do you have a car right now?
Yes.
What's happening with it? What's the problem with it?
Nothing. The lease is up in October.
Okay. So you have a lease that's up in October. So you leased, and how much is that lease a month?
$385.
And so you are trying to plan ahead, and you're like, all right, I'll take another one of them, right? and people are like, no, there's no more of these. That's where you're at right now.
Pretty much.
What kind is it, like a minivan? What are we dealing with here?
It's an SUV, and I looked up the residual. Is that the right word? Residual value?
We'll go with it, yeah.
I think it's about $28,000 I owe, but it's not worth $28,000. Like, if a car dealer sold it today, he would sell it for maybe $20,000 or $18,000. So
why lease? I mean, everyone's saying lease, and I don't know who these people are, but why do you think you're a person that should lease?
Well, I don't think I'm a person that should lease, but I can't seem to find a payment that's under $400 unless I lease. Because every time I talk to someone about financing, they're like, no, that's going to cost $500 or $600 a month. I can't, well, you know this, I cannot spend that every month and feel like I'm going to be okay. I'm not.
Is part of, what kind of SUV is it?
It's a Volvo.
Okay, so they're very safe. They're very safe, and they're Swedish, German. What's a Volvo? No one knows. They're foreign cars.
I really should know that.
My neighbor has a Volvo.
Is from Sweden.
Really?
No, maybe I lied.
I don't know. No one knows. But here's the thing. And this is not fun. This part's not fun.
No.
Do you need another luxury car?
No. But I even went to Chevy last night, Pete, and I wanted to finance, and they're like, that's going to be about $700. What?
Is that
it's a Chevy.
Okay, so a couple things here, and we got to make sure that my GM listeners don't, send me ugly emails. So let's back off the Chevy stuff.
I'm sorry. I'd like Chevy, but not for $700 a month. I don't. I
wanted to get a goat for the purpose of making goat's milk / goat cheese and name it Chevy. Because Chevy. So here, do you have bad credit? I mean, is your credit no good?
No.
Then
my credit is Kick. It's awesome.
It's Kick. I've never heard anyone say that. How much was the car? What was the sticker price of the car you were looking at?
The one that I have now, or the one?
No, the
from last
Chevy.
night?
The what was it? Like a Tundra? What are you getting?
No, it was an Equinox. It was like a 2000. I looked at the 2017 and a 2018 Equinox, and I could not.
I can help you.
We
with
finally
this.
left with him saying $365 a month for a lease. I said, I'll think about it. Thank you.
Okay, here's the thing. Stop buying new cars. What are you doing? Why do you want a new car? I'm not saying buy a jalopy, as my dad would say. I'm saying buy like something that's like 4 years old that's got some warranty left on it. What? I mean.
Well, I also went to Lexus last night and looked at a 4-year-old car.
And?
But then I said to myself, but I already have a 4-year-old car. Why am I going to just trade a 4-year-old car when I have a 4-year-old car? What am I doing?
You're thinking about that wrong. Okay, so you're trading the 4-year-old car because you don't own the 4-year-old car. Like you have to get rid of the 4-year-old car, and unless you're going to try to buy it now because you're leasing it, right?
Yes.
So
maybe I should just try to buy it.
Well, maybe. Look, if you've listened to the show, I'm going to say something you already know. I have an 08 and I have an 04, and they're both paid off. They're both Lexus SUVs. Everyone always wants to know. They're Lexus SUVs. They're nice, but I own them, and they're fine, right? So, like, if you're going to buy a high-quality car like a Volvo, this is where I try to act like a car guy, but I'm not because I've never changed my oil, but stick with it. If you're going to buy a Volvo, the Volvo starts to kick ass when you own it for a long time and it's still worth something. Owning it in the first couple years, hell, own a Chevy because it will still be worth something in the first couple years. If you're going to buy nice cars, drive them for a long time. Like, I think you should buy like a decent car. I don't know, a Honda with Toyota SUV that's 4 or 5 years old, and you can get your payment to where you need it. Right? No? Am I making this up?
No, I know you're right.
I don't know if I am. I feel like I might be missing something. Like, what's your husband drive? Truck.
He drives a Chevy.
A truck, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Sounded like a truck guy. You know? I'm not a truck guy. I'm not strong. Your husband sounds strong. Is he strong?
Yes, very strong.
I bet he is. Could he, like, lift the kids over his head and things?
Definitely.
Okay. That's very manly. Does he have a mustache?
Well, couldn't I just talk to the guy on the phone, to the Volvo guy, and say, please sell it to me for less money and we can work out a loan situation?
Well, you could, but it's not going to happen.
They won't say yes to that?
Well, I mean, math has to be involved, right? So you need to buy a car that's probably somewhere between $16,000 to $20,000. And I know what you're thinking. Mm-hmm. Well, how am I going to do that? That's why it's got to be a few years old. And then you finance it for 4 or 5 years. I'd rather not do 5, but look, if you're trying to stay at 385, you're probably going to have to do it. And then there you go. The problem is you're trying. Was it our last call, Nicole? The lady said she's got champagne taste on a beer budget. Is that what she said?
Yeah, that's exactly what she said.
Well, that's where we're at here too, right? You want a Volvo, but you shouldn't have a Volvo. And that's no beef on you. That's the idea that you pay $3,000 a month for a house and $1,800 for childcare. You can get that Volvo when the kids get out of childcare.
But now there's only $28,000 left on the car that I owe. So maybe I should. It's a bad situation. Maybe I should just try to stay in this and just ride it out with that. If I can talk to them about I don't know, lowering it.
Well, let me take a look here. I'm going to do $28,000. Let's say you bought it at, what do you think your interest rate would be on that car?
2.49 if I can qualify.
Okay, 2.49. That's $496 a month on a 5-year car loan. Right? Well, I say right. I have the numbers in front of me. It is right. I don't know. What's it on a 6-year car loan? Which still, I mean, that's getting a little. Then it's $419. It's not a lot better. See, let's just bring the price point down. Let's bring it down to $20,000, and then go to 5-year car loan, 2.49.
Now, yeah, I also have a little cash I could maybe put towards it.
But you shouldn't. You shouldn't though. Your situation, you need that. You need cash. Yeah, you do have a lot of money in cash, by the way.
But I kind of sneak into it every month because I can't pay the bills on just what I make. So I always sneak into that fund, and it's getting. It wasn't always 40. It was like 60. So it's going down, down, down.
$20,000 car financed over 5 years at 2.49 is $354 a month.
So what do you think about that?
I think that's a better option than buying a car you can't afford. Like,
right. And better than going back to Chevy and groveling and saying, "Oh, I'll take the lease for $360."
Stop leasing. I
hate leasing. You're right.
Well,
I don't know what.
Leasing's okay for some people, but it's just
Not for me.
Your recipe. No. It's weird. Okay, I'm going to ask a strange question. I don't even know why I'm asking it. Do you feel like you always have to get the most bang for the buck? Like, do you feel like you really try to squeeze value out of your dollars?
So weird how you totally know me. Yes.
Yeah, I can feel that because.
I'm sorry. Is it terrible quality? Yes,
no, it's not a terrible quality. It can be misconstrued. You can misuse it. Yeah, you can misuse it, and I think you're misusing it because what you're saying is, I want to get the best car I can for the money I'm willing to spend on a car. And that feels like a positive quality. Like I'm saying it right now, and you're going, yeah, what's the problem with that, right? Mm-hmm. Here's how I look at it. Not that I'm right, but here's how I look at it. This is how much money I want to spend. And I pay cash for cars because I don't want to mess with them. And I buy them 4 or 5. So I'll buy a 5-year-old Lexus for like $25,000 cash, and I'm done. And I don't even care, right? And the point here isn't, well, hey, you should have $25,000 cash. The point is I'm not driven by my taste in cars or the need to have a newer car. So it allows me to spend $25,000 on a $50,000 car.
Right.
You know?
And you know what? If I could do it all again, I would do it exactly like what you're saying. But right now I can't. I can't, even though I have $40,000 in cash, I can't plunk down.
No, you can't.
So that's the thing. I think I'm going to get smarter with that, and if I just ride this out, I can save money, and I'm not going to lease again, and I'm not going to ever do that again. I think I can make those wiser decisions down the road. But right now, I need to stop the bleeding somehow. The lease is up in October. September's kind of a crazy month for me, so I feel like now's the time I need to figure out what I'm going to be doing with this car, and
where'd how'd the $40,000 get there? Like, how in the world did you do that?
I refinanced the house at one point. What else? I took a loan for a class.
So you cashed
that money there.
You cashed out refi?
Yes.
Why?
At that time, I needed the money. I just couldn't make anything work, and it felt safer. I had some equity in the house, and I just did it.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Probably wasn't the best move.
No, see, this is it's indicative of that sort of most bang for the buck thing. Like, I think you're influenced by what lenders and marketers and product providers allow you to do. It's like sort of, I'm going to push the limits of what I'm able to do because I'm able to do it, and I think it's just it has built up and hurt you, right?
Right.
Here's what I'm going to do. We need to change you're on the cusp of your thinking changing. It's just not there yet. I'm going to send you a copy of Your Money Life, Your 40s. Have you read it yet?
I downloaded one of your things, but I don't think that one. No.
Okay.
No.
So Your Money Life, Your 40s. Are you a reader? I mean, I was about to say, are you a reader? Hell,
I'm a huge reader. better. I promise.
Okay, so send Nicole your mailing address, and I'm just going to send you a copy of Your Money Life, Your 40s, okay?
Thank you.
I need your thinking to shift from getting the most bang for your buck to, okay, and this is sort of some we've been working on a lot here recently. Stick with me on this, Brielle. You have to make tomorrow easier. Right now, there is no plan in place to make the future easier. Right now, you're taking whatever economic advantage you have and you're trying to get the most for you out of it now. We need to pass some of that advantage to the future. We need to make tomorrow easier. So that's the shift. It's going to take some time because you've probably been this way for 20 years as an adult, right?
I feel like I'm always in like attack mode. Yes.
You know, it'd be great. And here's the thing. I can feel your intensity. I love it. And you got a lot of fire. We just need the fire to go down the right path.
Okay.
I will say it again, and I mean this. And this isn't one of those things where I say no offense and then say something offensive. This is not a hopeless situation. There is much hope here, but it has to start with consumer decisions. It has to start with just a different approach as to what money is supposed to do for you.
You're right. You're right. I needed to hear it.
All right. You can do this. So we're sending you a book. Any other questions for now? I mean, we've I feel like I've answered some of them. Anything else?
No, I feel like you spent a lot of time. I really appreciate it.
All right. Well, we got your $50 worth because the kids are with a sitter, probably pumping them full of sugar. So when you get them back, you're gonna have to yell at them a little bit.
Yes.
I went on vacation last week, and we rented a house in South Carolina, and it turns out vacation is just yelling at your kids in someone else's house.
Yes, I was on vacation too last week. I didn't pay for it, so don't worry. But same exact thing. Yes.
I feel you.
Vacation at the beach is really not a vacation when you're a parent. But
No, it's not.
let's not ruin it for the people that don't
That's
know
right,
any better.
suckers. All right, so a book's on the way. Thanks for joining us, and please give us updates, okay?
I certainly will.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's it for this week's $1 Million Plan. Every once in a while, I'll send you a book. Every once in a while. I mean, you got to send a book to a librarian, right? Right? All right, that's it for this week's show. If you want to be on the show, be on the show. PeteThePlanner.com/podcast. I'm done for the week. The team and I are going out to have some beers because they work harder than anyone you know. So we're going to go buy them some booze. See ya. I'm out.
If you want to be on this podcast and have Pete fix your money life, then hit us up at PeteThePlanner.com/podcast. You heard me. PeteThePlanner.com/podcast. Log on.
This is for information purposes only. It's not the Swiss financial planning device. Consult a financial advisor.
Released from Everest, the fresh is fresh, and you can call me E.T. Word to John Tesh. Let me bless this harmonic presentation. It's amazing, so amazing. I'm the reason. Salutations, I bring you love, trying greetings from a faraway land. I am the sole controller. Put the remote down and let me take control. You're now a part of my zone, so enjoy yourself. Love Tron can restore your health. I bring you greetings, salutations. How you doing? And is that how y'all say it? The tinkling of the keys is an homage to the little star. I sojourn over poetic descriptions of sound and travel to my other world. Out of this world, spaceship on my arm took me home, fueled by the ink and the megabytes and the hypertext transfer protocol, stronger than the Skynet and the Terminator. I push faders into warp speed, glide with ease, creating a breeze they call a black hole. Event horizon, no rear view concerns. This I adjourn, and beats I burn. This I adjourn, and beats I burn. Salutations, I bring you love, trying greetings from a faraway land. I am the sole controller. Put the remote down and let me take control. You're now a part of my zone, so enjoy yourself. Love Tron can restore your health. I bring you greetings, salutations. How you doing? And is that how y'all say it?